Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Ballava Giribaradhare. Gopi Jana Ballava Giribaradhare. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachare. Yamunatira Vanachare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Ballava Giribaradhare. Gopi Jana Ballava Giribaradhare. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachare. Yamunatira Vanachare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Prabhupada Jai, Prabhupada Jai, Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnavad Paramahansa Parivrajakacharis Status Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON's founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Shri Shri Radha Radhanath Ki Shri Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Sankirtan Yagya Ki Go Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 6. Brahma satisfies Lord Shiva. Text 29. Rakta Kanta Kaganika Swara Mandita Shatpadam Kalahangsa Kula Preshtam Karadanda Jalashayam Raktakanta Kaganika Swaramandita Shatpadam Kalahangsa Kula Preshtam Karadanda Jalashayam Raktakanta Kaganika Swaramandita Shatpadam Kalahangsa Kula Preshtam Karadanda Jalashayam Raktakanta Kaganika Swaramandita Shatpadam Kalahangsa Kula Preshtam Karadanda Jalashayam Ladies, Rakta, reddish, Kanta, necks, Kaga anika, of many birds, Swara, with the sweet sounds, Mandita, decorated, Shatpadam, bees, Kalahangsakula, of groups of swans, Preshtam, very dear, Karadanda, lotus flowers, Jala Ashayam, lakes. Translation: in that celestial forest there were many birds whose necks were colored reddish and whose sweet sounds mixed with the humming of the bees. The lakes were abundantly decorated with crying swans, as well as strong-stemmed lotus flowers. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The beauty of the forest was intensified by the presence of various lakes. It is described herein that the lakes were decorated with lotus flowers and with swans who played and sang with the birds and the humming bees. Considering all these attributes, one can imagine how beautiful this spot was and how much the demigods passing through enjoyed the atmosphere. There are many paths and beautiful spots created by man on this planet Earth, but none of them can surpass those of Kailas, as they are described in these verses. Raktakanta Kaganika Swaramandita Shatpadam Kalahangsa Kula Preshtam Karadanda Jalashayam. In that celestial forest there were many birds whose necks were colored reddish and whose sweet sounds mixed with the humming of the bees. The lakes were abundantly decorated with crying swans, as well as strong-stemmed lotus flowers. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirla Vishesha Shunyavadi Pastutyadeshtarane Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchkalpatrubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha. Paditanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, so continuing the description of Kailas, the abode of Lord Shiva, And as Lord Shiva is particularly elevated amongst the demigods, so his abode is similarly elevated. So beautiful that the demigods, the yakshas we mentioned the other day, or the verse mentioned the other day, and the various demigods who came flying through in their heavenly aircraft, they just found the atmosphere and the whole situation just very exceptional and very wonderful. And as Srila Prabhupada says here in the purport, there are many paths and beautiful spots created by man on this planet Earth, but none of them can surpass those of Kailas as they're described in these verses. Yes, well, what you call it, Mahatma Gandhi Park, it's an attempt at something like this. And actually, to be quite frank, I've never been over there. But it's an attempt to make a nice spot where people can come and spend some time. But it's not like Kailash, which is very, not just heavenly, but very high level heavenly. Really amazing. With Kalahangsakula, groups of swans, many different swans, Shatpadam, 6-feeted. The bees have 6 feet, Shatpadam. And all different types of birds, so many birds who would sing in beautiful ways, and so with all the floral arrangements and beautiful trees and strong-stemmed lotus flowers. Lotus flowers are strong-stemmed because they grow right up, maybe to this height or something, and out of the water. So they have to be strong-stemmed. And it's just a very beautiful scene. Unlike or just incomparable when considering the standards that we're used to. Which, sometimes they're nice. In some places they have very nice gardens. But not like this. This is really another dimension, and even people who are not familiar with Goloka Vrindavan and the spiritual world, if they were to see a place like this, they might think, this is the supreme. You couldn't get anything nicer, more beautiful than this. So, yes, on our levels, there was one time, Giriraj Maharaj told me about this incident, that a devotee who was there told him that this one devotee, freshly arrived, as I recall, from America in India, and one of the evenings they went to the home of some relatively high-level Hindu people, very wealthy and very cultured people, and they had a program. Srila Prabhupada was there. Prabhupada gave a class, and at the end, everyone was served prasadam. And this particular devotee had never tasted anything like that before. It was really outstanding. I mean, it was really outstanding cooking and like that. And Srila Prabhupada asked him, how's the prasadam? And the devotee said, well, it's really, really nice. And Srila Prabhupada said, well, how would you know? You're only used to dog food. Which, did you hear that one before? You didn't? Anyway, yeah. Then that devotee told Giriraj Maharaj, this is what he told me. I've remembered that for many years. So, but it's true. It's very true that what goes on in the name of cuisine and culture on this level is really just dog food or less. It's not fit for human consumption. Yes, so heavenly planets are truly amazing by our standards, just another dimension, and people could not be blamed, you could say, for thinking when they read a description like this. They couldn't be blamed for thinking, oh, this must be the supreme, the topmost. Just like we hear that in Islam, they're told their idea of heaven is, of course, it's very male-centric, that every man is surrounded by all these beautiful young girls who just, anyway, and that's the supreme. That's the supreme, to be surrounded by many beautiful young girls, but it's not the supreme. It's not actually the supreme. Let me just read this description here from Brahma Samhita, such a beautiful description of Goloka Vrindavan. Shri Akanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpataravo Druma Bhumis Chintamani Gana Maitoyam Amritam Kataganam Natyam Gamanamapi Vangsi Priya Saki Chidanandam Jyoti Paramapi Tadasvadyam Apicha Sayatra Shirabdi Sravati Sura Bibascha Sumahan Nimeshadakyo Va Vrajati Na Hiyatrapi Samaya Bhaje Sweta Dvipam Tamaham Iha Golokam Itiyam Vedantaste Santa Shiti Vira Lachara Katipaye. Lord Brahma's description of, just brief, very brief, but very nice description of Goloka. I worship that transcendental seat known as Sweta Dweep, whereas loving consorts, the Lakshmis, in their unalloyed spiritual essence, practice the amorous service of the Supreme Lord Krishna as their only lover, where every tree is a transcendental purpose tree, where the soil is the purpose gem. All water is nectar, every word is a song, every gate, every step is a dance. The flute is the favorite attendant. Effulgence is full of transcendental bliss, and the supreme spiritual entities are all enjoyable and tasty, where numberless milk cows always emit transcendental oceans of milk, where there's eternal existence of transcendental time, who is ever present and without past or future, and hence is not subject to the quality of passing away, even for the space of half a moment. Shri Radha Radhanath Shri Giri Govardhan Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. That realm is known as Goloka only to a very few self-realized souls in this world. So this is even higher level. Goloka Vrindavan is even higher level than Kailash, which is just a lot higher in terms of beauty and like that than the level that we're on this earth planet. There, every tree is a transcendental purpose tree. Whatever Krishna wants, whatever you want to offer Krishna, then every single tree, just on request, will just manifest. Let me give Krishna some mangoes, and there they'll be. Let me give Krishna some lychees, there they'll be. Please take a form so Krishna can sit nicely on one of your branches. Please manifest some jewels so I can offer Krishna a necklace. These are the transcendental purpose trees. And of course, because everyone there is a devotee, so no one goes to the tree and asks for just something for their personal sense gratification. They ask, Krishna asks, they ask. They ask for just wonderful things to offer to Krishna, to please Krishna. And that is their pleasure, that is their satisfaction. The soil is the purpose gem. It's described that there's so many Chintamani stones of different sizes. They're big Chintamani stones, little ones, and they're all Chintamani. They're all wish-fulfilling, like the trees. Wish-fulfilling. But we read that because the devotees in Goloka Vrindavan, their wishes are being fulfilled in so many ways by the trees, by the cows, that the best use, oftentimes, the best use they can find for a sort of little bit larger Chintamani stone is to use it as a doorstop to keep the door open so they can see Krishna when he passes by. And then they think, we've utilized this Chintamani stone in the best way. Yes, so very amazing. All water is nectar. Just the ordinary water is nectar. Not some special treated water bottled up and sold for a high price, but just all the water is like nectar, simply like nectar. And sometimes when we're talking about this particular verse and these different statements here, then we raise the question in this regard, if all the water there is like nectar, our water is not really like nectar unless you're just about ready to die from thirst. But otherwise, sometimes we make very nice drinks. Sometimes, Lord Balaram's appearance day is coming up in a few weeks, and the devotees on Lord Balaram's appearance day, they make Varuni, some sort of version of Varuni, which oftentimes is some yogurt and some honey mixed with Sprite. That's Varuni. It's nice. It's very nice. But we don't really have experience of those transcendental drinks. And Srila Jiva Goswami, in his commentary on this verse in Brahma Samhita, he makes the point that if in Goloka Vrindavan all the water tastes like nectar, what does their nectar taste like? When someone makes some just very fancy and beautiful drink. And he says, we have no experience of such a thing. We have no experience. We just have experience of yogurt and honey mixed with Sprite or something of that sort. Something like better than that. How about a Masi Asakaya sweetened? That's nice. That's really nice. But it's not like anything which they have in Goloka Vrindavan. Every word there, every word is a song. When people are just talking about some small talk to do with Krishna, but when they're just talking in what to them is just an ordinary tone, ordinary way, it's like a song. It's like our best singing. Who's our best singer here? Oh, I know. It must be Swarup Damodar Prabhu. Well, whoever it is. Maybe it's Jai Sachinandan Prabhu. But anyway, I think it's Swarup Damodar Prabhu. So when they are just talking, you could say just talking about the weather or something inconsequential like that, then the sound is like, let's not embarrass anyone, let's just say, our best singer singing in their best way. So we just feel, oh, this is just so wonderful. But they're ordinary talkers like that. Every word is a song. Just when if they say things like, how are you? And all these just very regular things. It's like our best singing. So Srila Jiva Goswami says that if their ordinary talking is like our best singing, then what is it like when they sing? And he says, we have no experience of something like that. And every step is a dance. When they're just walking along, it's like our best dancing. Who's our best dancer here? Justin? Anyway, I guess there is one, but whoever it is, they're ordinary walking, just walking down the road, going to the shops or something. It's nothing very special at all for them. It's just very ordinary. But it's like our best dancing. And so Srila Jiva Goswami says, if their ordinary walking is like our best dancing, what is it like when they dance? And we have no experience. He says we have no experience of something like that. And Srila Jiva Goswami makes the point that because we have no experience of so many of these features of Goloka Vrindavan, the incredible beauty, unimaginable, literally unimaginable beauty by our standards, because we cannot conceive of these things, he says, therefore, very few people want to go there, because it's just like a big question mark. They just don't know what it is. So, yes, that's Goloka Vrindavan. That's Goloka Vrindavan. And the cows emit oceans of milk. Of course, we know the story. Srila Prabhupada told the story of Sanatana Goswami and the touchstone. That Sanatana Goswami, somehow or other, he acquired a touchstone. But as a very great devotee of the Lord, he wasn't really interested in touching it to things to make them turn into gold or whatever. So he just put it in his rubbish heap. And somehow or other, someone, I heard a Shivite, but someone heard that Sanatana Goswami has a touchstone. So the person approached Sanatana Goswami, I hear you've got a touchstone. Yes. Could I have it? And Sanatana Goswami said, sure, it's in the rubbish heap there. Just take it. So the person took it, and he was having a festival of touching it to different things and turning them into gold. Gold computer, gold table, gold person. But then after a little while he thought, wait a minute, if this thing is so valuable, why was he keeping it in the rubbish heap? He must have something more valuable. So he went back to Sanatana Goswami and said, seems to me you've got something more valuable. Saying you're keeping this in the rubbish heap. And Sanatana Goswami said, yes. Oh, of course, I've got something much more valuable. I'm just not interested in this. And the man asked, well, can I have that? And Sanatana Goswami said, sure, you can have that, but just throw away the touchstone first of all. So the man threw away the touchstone, and Sanatana Goswami gave him the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because, well, Nama Chintamani Krishnas, Caitanya Rasa Vigraha, Purna Shuddho Nityamukto, Binatwam Nama Namino. The holy name of Krishna is transcendental touchstone. It's always liberated, always completely transcendental. Because, and the holy name, Binatwam, Nama Namino. It's not two, the name and the named. Normally they're two. There's a person, the person has a name. So the person and the name are two. But in this case, Binatwam, Nama Namino. The name and the named are not two. They're one. They're not different. Lord Krishna and his transcendental name. So actually, this is where we really find things which are the most wonderful, the most glorious, the most beautiful in Krishna consciousness. Even something which is, by material standards, the very best in its category within the material creation, compared to what's there in Goloka Vrindavan, even what's there in Vaikuntha. The things of this world, they're just very pale and insubstantial. Yes. So therefore it's interesting. It's interesting to hear about a place like Kailash, which is just, by our standards, extremely beautiful, extremely impressive by our standards. It's interesting to appreciate that Krishna is so amazing that he's made this material world with all these very special features. But compared to the spiritual world, it's all just insubstantial and undesirable. Just undesirable. There's no need, no point in becoming distracted by these material things. Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions? Jai Sachinandan Prabhu.
My apologies for coming late. To class, but from the gist of what you were saying about the nature of the spiritual world, there's a lot of talk about Shambhala. Shambhala, in the media they talk about it. I don't know if it's speculation or what. It's in another dimension, but it's within this material realm. You want to share something on this?
Not really, but anyway, it's it's part of the material world. And, I guess it's part of the heavenly planets, or something to do with the heavenly planets. But actually, this is Kailash being described, but there's so many heavenly planets. There's Indraloka, his Nandana garden, the Nandana garden of Lord Indra, is something quite incredible. The place of Lord Brahma. We have, in some places they have beautiful parks and gardens, in wherever, different places, in some of the old estates in England, they have really very beautiful gardens laid out in certain ways. But it's just nothing compared to whether it be Shambhala or Kailash or Indraloka or the places like the moon, the place of Chandra is also extremely beautiful. So Shambhala, I don't think it's referred to in the Vedic. Is it referred to? Maybe it is. Shambhala.
The Bhagavatam,
Huh?
Kalki incarnation will take birth in that village. Shambhala.
I see. Anyway. So it's just, I guess it sounds like it's some sort of heavenly abode or something like that. There's reference to Shambhala. here, but I don't know. No. Sorry to disappoint you.
I'm just curious. There was a pop song also in the 80s.
A pop song?
Shambhala.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not up with it. I'm behind the times.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. I was just wondering, in Goloka, you were saying how all the residents, their only desire is really to serve Krishna, even though they're surrounded by all of this opulence.
Right.
And like in the temple and in Krishna consciousness in general, there's so many, nice things. There's prasad, there's kirtan.
Sure.
We got the sweets that have come now, and it's really easy to get sort of enamored by these things and lose focus of the goal of pleasing Krishna, and sometimes just get into getting the rasgullas and the gulab jamuns. How do we kind of get away from this tendency and have more of a mindset of pleasing Krishna while being surrounded by all of these things?
Yes, well, at least in that sense, they are Krishna conscious things, so that's something. But the thing is that through attentive chanting, really attentive chanting, and trying to cultivate the desire to please Krishna and to get away from our background of wanting to please ourselves. But it's got to be based on attentive chanting, otherwise, even if we want to break free from our old habits of enjoyment and so on, we won't be able to. Maybe temporarily, just if we get a little worked up about it mentally, we'll be able to, get focused to some degree in Krishna conscious ways, but without a foundation of very attentive chanting and just maintaining the program of Krishna consciousness, but with the foundation of good chanting, then these things are possible. And then, those different things like the nice rasgullas, right, you said? Or whatever, ras malai. When you're in that mood of, on the basis of good chanting, of really actually wanting to please Krishna, please Srila Prabhupada, and to please rather than be pleased, then the rasgullas taste better. Yeah, they taste better. Even the really good, which is not easy to find, but the really good chum tastes better when you're in that mood. All the things, whatever, different features there are, nice things in the way of life of Krishna consciousness, the experience of all of them is better when we're actually in a state of Krishna consciousness and state of trying to please, rather than in the mood of, the material mood of wanting pleasure for ourselves and having that as the highest standard. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.